Hi. Something that I wanted to do for a long time um, was write a list of my top 100 favorite characters. It was something that I often thought about, but I thought I wouldn't end up doing. There were several times when I was younger where I made a list of my top 10 favorite animated characters. I did that so many times, and as I discovered new things I really liked, my list kept changing, and it was a lot of fun to work on. And eventually, it felt like things were getting out of hand for me, and I stopped doing the top 10 list for a long time, and I've been wanting to do a top 10 list again. But I've also thought about a top 100 list, and that seemed too overly ambitious, especially since I kept changing my opinion about who my favorite characters are. However, I think that I figured out a way to make a list that can feel more timeless than the top 10 cartoon characters list that I used to do, where I would constantly change those lists and things would um, keep going through various things, and there were so many changes so often. I often had cartoon character lists that were about the characters that I had liked most recently, and that led to a lot of characters that were very new to me getting on the list, and those characters being replaced by other new characters, and it kept going on. And I've decided to do a list that doesn't just include cartoon characters. It's top 100 favorite characters that can count from various things. In addition to cartoons, also can include characters from comics, live action shows, live action films, various things. And I decided that I would make it a list about somewhat of a summary of the things that I like by including characters from things that I liked as a little kid, as a big kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, and most recently, pretty much a whole summary of the many years that I've been a fan of shows and films and have seen so many different characters. So that's made things really exciting for me in working on this list. I have been working on this list actually for a pretty long time, and it's the most thought and effort that I've ever put into a list that I've worked on. And originally, I was just going to list the characters out and not even have the 100 characters ranked. I would just have a list of uh, the 100 characters that I like, and that would be it. But I decided that I wanted to throw a little challenge to myself and rank the 100 characters, and that has been very hard. And I've changed the placements a lot and trying to figure out what makes the most sense, what feels the most correct to how I feel, and it's been a very challenging thing to work on, a very fun thing to work on though, and I really do like working on it. And I want to include some variety, include various characters from various things, not just the same five shows or same five franchises or something like that. But I also wanted to be fully honest, though, and include multiple characters from a franchise if I do like that many characters from a franchise. So there are some characters that are from the same show. However, there are also a lot of characters um, that are different from that, where I have just one character from a franchise that really stands out to me in particular. And I thought that was the best way to go about it. I think, though, that if I included just 100 characters from 100 different franchises, that wouldn't be fully honest, because there's some franchise that I love so much that there's more than one character that I love, and not including some of the other characters, it just wouldn't have felt right to me. But also, I do have a lot of variety, and last time I checked, I have over 60 different things um, in the list. So there are plenty of franchises that just have one character, and there's some that have more than one. There's some that have a lot, but there is a good amount of variety, and that was important to have. And some of these characters are characters that I really loved at a certain time, haven't actually thought that much about. So working on this, very nostalgic, and I think that if I loved a character for a certain amount of time, and that character was one of my favorite characters for a long period of time, I feel like, well, that character should be there. And if I don't feel as strongly about that character as I do now, then the character shouldn't be super high in the ranking, but should still be there. So that was pretty much my thought process, and I wanted to give that out, and I hope that you are looking forward to learning who my favorite characters are. I do think that some of the characters are from uh, shows that I've never talked that much about, some more obscure characters. So I think that even for the people that know me the best, there'll still be plenty of surprises, and I think some of the placements will be surprising. As some of the my own choices surprised me. um, but if you want, you can guess about certain characters that could end up in my ranking. And this has been a huge passion project for me to work on. So I really do hope that you're looking forward to it, and that you check it out. And I hope the list turns out really good.